Fire me then. I have free speech. This is a public entity. You want to go down that road?
The defense wants additional medical records on these two officers, but they have been leaking the medical records of the officers to media personas and press, violating their HIPAA rights and their privacy rights. And did you end up having injuries?
I did. After the incident, although not right away within the first 24, 48 hours, but after the incident, I started having extreme back pain. Was unable to work, and I started seeking medical attention.
The state has motioned for a seal of confidentiality and an order for them to not disseminate any further records, or for them to have to come and view them in person with the state. And to your knowledge, was Deputy Bliss also injured in the incident?
Yes, ma'am, she sure was.
Okay. Did she go to the ER that day?
I believe so, yes.
All right. And did you go to the ER that day or another day due to this incident?
I actually went to my medical doctor after the incident. I never went to the ER. Deputy Bliss went to the ER that day.
Back to count 4 then, which is where Ms. Gillette's argument began. This court had ordered back in March for the state to disclose and turn over doctors' records on the alleged victims' back injuries, which apparently was the impetus for the amendment to a level 5 person felony. Yet Mr. House suggests that those records haven't been turned over. Is that correct, Mr. House?
Your Honor, that's right. As to records from the state of California, we addressed that in our motion for continuance and pointed out that we hadn't received those records. That was one of the reasons we were asking for continuance of the jury trial, so that we might have those records from California to have. We had an expert in Tulsa who was going to look at those and give us his opinion on the records. But I've talked with Ms. Gillette about it. I know she's had trouble getting those, but we still don't have them, and I don't think she has them.
I have, but
Okay.
Mr. Watts's medical records have been leaked to the public.
Okay. If he doesn't have them yet, how can he leak them?
Okay. And was there injuries to your hand as well?
Yeah, I got scraped along the wall. Some injuries to my knuckle or something as we went across the wall into where I was trying to get him in a chair.
Is this the injury to your hand?
Yes, ma'am, that would be yes.
And is this your arm as well?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is pictures prepared by Deputy Bliss?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely accurate.
Okay. And did you have medical studies of the injury to your back?
I did. Throughout my time with the doctor, helping them out with getting me fixed up, I was sent to the hospital in Winfield and had an MRI done on my back.
They have had an MRI of Deputy Watts from the beginning of this case, and the defendant has shared all of his discovery.
Hey, Mr. Walker, I don't need your head shaking. Just let your attorney speak for you.
These records the MRI has been leaked along with other stuff to online media personas. The defendant has encouraged them to go out and find the videos of the court that are on YouTube, such as today, where they made a public announcement wanting everyone to watch and make comments on it. the live stream for today. It is running rampant with death threats against everyone, but more importantly, they have leaked information about Deputy Watts's history past. These media personas are trying to go into detail about anything from former Deputy Watts's history of his medical care, trying to obtain it, talk about it. The MRI is being discussed on public YouTube streaming by these media personas that have been leaked by the defendant and his people that are working with him. And what was the results of the MRI?
I had a complete disassociation between the disc in my L3 and L4, and agitation to the discs, nerve pain where it went over my right hip, and I was down for quite a while. Still down.
And are you awaiting surgery for that injury?
I'm in California time. I have an appointment the 22nd, which they're going to refer me to a orthopedic and neurosurgeon.
The leaking of his personal medical MRI to these individuals who are discussing it publicly live on YouTube videos to get likes and hate messages and stuff out there is not appropriate. That is protected healthcare information for Deputy Watts that are required to be turned over. The discussions of his herniated discs, his physical therapy, all of the stuff that would be contained in his protected healthcare information should not be being leaked out to these media personas who are discussing it in detail. And are you requiring surgery to repair the damage from this incident?
Yes.
But with the dissemination of his healthcare, the harassment he's been under, he doesn't feel safe releasing anything else to the defendant.
Wait a minute, one thing at a time. I'm wanting to know what you gave your client. Did you give him some of this alleged victim's medical records?
No, I did not.
Then how did they get out into the public domain? But Mr. House, you're giving me the impression that you never turned them over to Mr. Walker.
That's right.
Which again makes me wonder, why are they in the public domain? Who did turn them over then?
And what was the results of the MRI?
I had a complete disassociation between the disc in my L3 and L4, and agitation to the discs, nerve pain where it went over my right hip, and I was down for quite a while. Still down.
And are you awaiting surgery for that injury?
I'm in California time. I have an appointment the 22nd, which they're going to refer me to a orthopedic and neurosurgeon.
Your report on the 28th, which is the day after, mentioned the scrape to the arm, but didn't say anything about your back. Were you sore that day?
I didn't hear you say that again, sir.
Your report mentions the scrape on your arm and the bleeding on the arm, but there's nothing said about your back. And that's the day after this incident.
Yeah, my back didn't start really bothering me until about 48 hours later, maybe 72, where I started to kind of stiffen up and not be able to function very good.
They have been leaking the medical records of the officers to media personas and press, violating their HIPAA rights and their privacy rights.
Did you have any prior back injuries? Have you had trouble with your back previously?
Yes, previously.
And when did that begin?
About 2020, I'd say. Maybe end of 2019.
And what occurred then to injure your back?
Just on the job, wearing the vest for as long as I'd had been, and that kind of thing, and working as a first responder for all the years that I've been in service.
The defense wants additional medical records on these two officers, but they have been leaking the medical records of the officers to media personas and press, violating their HIPAA rights and their privacy rights.
Okay.
Mr. Watts' medical records have been leaked to the public.
Okay. If he doesn't have them yet, how can he leak them?
And you started consulting a doctor at that time?
Yes.
Where were you living at that time?
Nevada.
Okay. Did you have any operations or anything of this nature?
No, sir.
So did you continue to have back problems from time to time between?
From time to time, yes.
At some point after this injury, you say you saw a doctor?
After my injury with the incident with Mr. Walker,
Yes.
yes, I went to the Moline Health Clinic.
You remember how many days after the incident that took place?
Probably about 20, 25 days later.
Have you made any workman's compensation claim for this injury?
I did make a workman's comp claim. I missed the window.
Now you say you missed the window. What do you mean by that?
I waited too long to make the claim according to county policy.
What were you told?
That I was over the 20 days deadline or something like that.
Was there a written report or decision on that?
That was all verbal over the phone. I don't know if the county got a report on that or not.
So workman's compensation was denied?
Yeah, due to the timeline.
And you say you saw your doctor in Moline 20 to 25 days after this incident?
20 to 25 days, yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Watts' medical records have been leaked to the public.
Okay. If he doesn't have them yet, how can he leak them?
And then you went to, at some point, to Winfield for an MRI?
Yep, they sent me to Winfield for an MRI on my back.
What doctor did you see in Moline?
What is her name? The physician's assistant.
Okay.
No, excuse me, I don't go to the doctor very much. I kind of just wing it myself. The physician's assistant in Moline.
Okay. Were you still seeing the doctor occasionally between 2019 or 2020 when this first happened to the date of this incident in 2023?
Yes, I had seen a neurosurgeon in Reno in 2022.
What did that neurosurgeon tell you?
They gave me shots in my back to it's kind of called, they're called faucet injections for pain control.
The defense wants additional medical records on these two officers, but they have been leaking the medical records of the officers to media personas and press, violating their HIPAA rights and their privacy rights.
I've got no further questions of Deputy Watts, Your Honor.
Ms. Gillette?
Deputy, are you still under the treatment and care of the physicians?
Yes, I have an appointment the 22nd to continue with issues on my back that I'm currently still dealing with.
And were these issues new issues from what you had before?
I was not having any problems before the incident with Walker.
And after the incident with Walker, then you started having all these new issues?
Yeah, where it was just unbearable pain and stuff. Just I wasn't able to even work.
I think that's all the further questions I have, Your Honor.
Okay.
Mr. Watts' medical records have been leaked to the public.
Okay. If he doesn't have them yet, how can he leak them?
Mr. House?
Yes, redirect. Deputy Watts, did you have any pain in your back during your struggles with the defendant in this case?
Prior to or during?
Well, prior to, did you have any prior to?
No, sir. Prior to, I was good to go. Hadn't any problems at all.
Did you have any during the incident?
During the incident, as we were going across the wall, I did feel a pop in my back. Yes, sir.
You don't say anything about that in your report the next day, though, do you?
I would say I didn't, sir.
You're featured on the scrape on your arm that was bleeding.
Yes.
Okay. No further questions.
The defense wants additional medical records on these two officers, but they have been leaking the medical records of the officers to media personas and press violating their HIPAA rights and their privacy rights.
Okay.
Mr. Watts's medical records have been leaked to the public.
Okay.
By
If he doesn't have them yet, how can he leak them?
the leaking of his personal medical MRI to these individuals who are discussing it publicly live on YouTube videos to get likes and hate messages and stuff out there is not appropriate. That is protected healthcare information for Deputy Watts that are required to be turned over. The discussions of his herniated discs, his physical therapy, all of the stuff that would be contained in his protected healthcare information should not be being leaked out to these media personas who are discussing it in detail